For someone in the collective, what came up in this reading is that you are a very intuitive individual. There is an experience that someone in the collective is about to go through that is going to allow you to see something that your intuition may be missing or you may be choosing to not see. Okay. Someone's about to go through a deep period of transformation. And so spirit is wanting to give someone a heads up about the transformation that they're about to go through in their heart space, All right. So welcome in collective. I'm glad you decided to stop by. I will not hold you up any further. We'll get right to the reading and I'll see you guys on the other side. What's good, collective? How y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're feeling well. It's Friday, y'all. It's Friday again. We're gonna get into some energy and see what's going on. I do have some things out here, and I think I kind of know where the energy for this is going, but I'm just going to show you what I have, and then we're going to jump into clarifying it, and we'll see, exactly what spirit wants to say. Okay. All right. So in the situation position, we have the sixth chakra, Archangel Metatron. This is concerning someone's intuition, someone's third eye. Now, whoever this message is going to reverberate with, it's not that you or the person in your energy is not highly intuitive. This is an individual who is highly intuitive, okay? In the desired goal, we have rest and rejuvenation, all right? Now, I was sitting here with this card. This is the desired goal. And what I'm hearing spirit say is someone may, although very intuitive, they may still be asleep to a certain aspect of themselves that they need to see. Okay. In the conflict, we have a woman holding a heart. We have journey. Now, this feels like this individual, either you or someone in your life or someone you know of, someone in your energy here, that is asleep to a certain aspect of themselves. I want you to see how she is holding this little crystal looking lantern thing, okay? And she is on this journey, okay? She's crossing over a bridge here. So this is transition. This is crossroad energy. This is a decision needs to be made or decisions are being made. However, notice the resemblance in the lantern that it's looking like she's about to throw it over the bridge, right? It looks like she's about to toss it. So this is giving me that somebody is somebody who is capable, okay? Somebody who is capable of seeing in the spirit, seeing clearly, is like not using that same intuition when it comes to some aspect of their own journey. You notice that she's on this rickety bridge. Okay, shit look like it's about to lean over any minute now. It don't even got the rope on the other side. She could literally fall off the thing. All right, she's about to throw away her third eye, ultimately, her intuition. Okay, and she got all this baggage with her. Okay, so it tells me that there is an intuitive person who some aspect of something that they need to see within themselves, they're not willing to see it. They're not willing to see the baggage that they're carrying in their own heart space. Okay. So the conflict is that the next phase of someone's journey is about the matters of the heart and not just being spiritually minded or witchy or intuitive as far as like being able to tap in through the different frequencies of the mind. It's about someone's heart at this juncture of their journey because they're carrying some sort of baggage and they're not using their third eye to see that. And that is the conflict. All right. So in the change position, we have the world. Okay. And then we have door to romance. Before people, this person could do something online. This person could be an influencer. They could be a celebrity. They could be very popular in their community, in their family, whatever that world energy is. The way they show up is as if their heart space is open. They show up loving enough. Okay. They show up like they're not showing up and what's really going on inside of them. So it appears that the door to loving this person, or this person loving you or caring for you, it appears that the door is open, but behind that door, the heart is still in a cage. So how this person is showing up in the world is not really what's reflected on the inside of them. On the inside of them, they have their heart under lock and key. They're not open to love, even if they are appearing to be before people in some capacity. Before you, if this is a lover, you understand what I'm saying, or if this is a family member. But this, with the world card, it brings in more like this person has some sort of public stance. Okay, so this could be someone you again know of, connected to in your energy, or this could be you. Take it how it reverberates. Now in the outcome, we have the thinking man. This is clarity coming in. Okay, the end result of something is some sort of clarity being received concerning the second chakra, Archangel Ariel, which is the sacral. Okay. Having to do, there's some clarity about what this person is creating. Maybe this is someone, again, with a platform. This could be a content creator, but there's going to be something clear about this person's, I won't say motive, but more so like the energy that they're really operating in. It's like they're doing something intuitively, or they're seen as intuitive, which to some degree they may be. I mean, every human being has intuition. It just, it differs in how much you're tapped into it, how you use it, if you use it, so on and so forth. But human beings are all intuitive, just like human beings all breathe oxygen. But you have some human beings who on a ventilator. You have some human beings, you know what I mean? But ultimately, we all breathe oxygen. So this could be that this person is seen as someone who is highly intuitive, with Metatron coming out here, but there's something going on in the heart space. It's either that they don't love what they do, or they don't do it out of a certain frequency of love. And something is about to be clear, or become clear, about the energy in which this person is creating from. Okay. Now, let's see what the cards say. Clarified Metatron. I'm going to use this deck. I'm going to see what it do. Fruits of labor, cutting ties. Not all connections are meant to last. Some bonds become chains, holding you back from the life you are destined to live. It's time to cut the ties that no longer serve you. And then fruits of labor. There's some sort of cutting away that this individual needs to accomplish in order to see the labor that the fruits of their labor that they really want to see intuitively, or that they have a vision for. Okay. So this person this is a visionary as well. All right. So this person has a vision. But there's something that needs to be broken before that vision can really, really shine through the way it's supposed to. We have living your truth. It's in reverse. So it could have something to do with this person's truth. We have feeling loss. Clarify, rest, and rejuvenate. In the desired goal position, we have divine intervention. And it just fell on the floor. It slipped right out my hand. Uh-oh. Divine intervention. There's something this person is not grasping because they're not They're not awake. They won't awake up to it. Divine intervention. When all seems lost, a higher power steps in. What unfolds now is not of your making, but of a higher intelligence that transcends logic and control. Give me one more. Agreement. A new perspective. Okay, so this person is asleep to some aspect that they need to see. So the divine is about to intervene, or has already intervened, to give this individual a new perspective. When the light changes, so does the landscape. Try viewing this situation through a different lens and stay open to the wisdom that comes when you dare to look from another angle. So the same lesson is about to be given to somebody in the collective or someone in your energy. The same lesson is about to be given to them from a different perspective, from a different experience. Okay? In a way that may wake them. It may wake them in this sense, okay? Concerning their spiritual path and what they're giving birth to. Clarify the heart, the woman with a heart, holding a heart, and journey in the conflict position, spirit. Misunderstanding. They have a misunderstanding of something. Maybe the importance of the heart chakra when it comes to being an intuitive. Maybe they rely heavily on their gifts, but their heart is still shut down. Very guarded. And this kind of gives a little bit of a disingenuous energy, just an undertone. Because before the world, they seem like they're an open door, or like they have, like their heart chakra is open, but it's really not. Okay. Misunderstanding. A misunderstanding may feel like a wall, but it's one that can be torn down with patience and honesty. Listen with the intent to understand and release the need to be right. Clarity will emerge from the fog. There's something about this individual's heart chakra that's shut down. And so their intuition is showing them something, but they're not willing to look at it, or they're at least not looking at it. But I'm gonna say they're not willing, because the shit is in her hand. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, she know it's there, you know, and so she's intentionally turning her face away from it, not wanting to see what her intuition is revealing. That's on the other side of the rope. What's over there? You know? That luggage just keeps, it's like baggage that they're toting. They may be still toting some sort of trauma, a problem solved, higher self. They think that if they communicate with their higher self, the problem is solved. Or they think that they're communicating with their higher self and they still need to solve a problem before they can actually be legitimately communicating with their higher self. Tell me more. Misunderstanding? Limitless. This is your invitation to think bigger, dream bigger. The world has placed limits on what's possible. Now it's time to see for yourself what's beyond them. Yeah, somebody might be really heavily focused on higher consciousness and higher, but they're missing everything in their temple. They're not healing certain things in their actual sanctuary. You understand what I'm saying? Like their heart space, their solar plexus, their root chakra, and all that. That's the sanctuary. So this person is like, okay, I'm gonna just say it the way I heard it. They're so heavenly minded, they're no earthly good. And that's a scripture. Check that one out. It's pretty cool. Uh, they're so heavenly minded, they're no earthly good. They're so caught up in the image of being spiritual or highly intuitive and all that swarms around that energy for them, that they're ignoring some things that maybe they have already intuitively picked up on, that they need to deal with that. But it's almost like now they are delaying dealing with it. So now something feels out of sync timeline wise. Okay. Clarify daughter romance in the world. Change position. The spirit world. The spirit world. The spirit realm is communicating with you, whether through symbols, synchronicities, or inner knowing. Be open to receiving connection and support from guides, ancestors, and loved ones beyond the veil. This person might not. It's certain ancestors that need to come in, or spirit guides that need to come in, but those are the spirit guides connected more to the frequency of love. And so if this person is emotionally shut down from that energy, then there are ancestors and spirit guides that are ready to come in but can't come in because they haven't actually gotten their heart from behind a cage. Anxiety. When thoughts spiral out of control, they pull you away from the present. Anchor yourself in what is real. Your breath, your body, this moment. Yeah, it's like they so heavenly minded, they know earthly good. Like almost like they want us to be seen as not human. Like, how people have delusions of grandeur. Like this is, and this may not be the case, but this would be equivalent to somebody walking around, in a delusional way. It depending on what you believe about Jesus Christ, right? Depending on what you believe, it would be delusional for somebody to just be walking around the street hollering about their Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? It would be like something wrong with them. That boy said they Jesus. Oh my. Right? If you feel like Jesus is the Jesus in the Bible and so on and so forth, right? So this is like somebody is kind of disconnected from their temple, their body. They spend too much time in the spirit world. We have good health. They're anxious about their health. They could be having something going on in their body. Your commitment to wellness is paying off. Keep making choices that support your highest well-being. Your health is on the rise. This individual, whoever this is, whether this is someone in the collective or someone you're aware of, okay, when it comes to their feminine energy, this person has a lot of anxiety about their feminine energy, have a lot of anxiety about even working with feminine energy spiritually. And I don't know how that's playing out and how that's showing up in their life, but it's given that they have anxiety around their heart space, which means they ultimately have anxiety around the feminine aspect of the Most High. So they have energies with the matriarchal that they need to look at. Both, however, that is played out in their body, in their life, in their experiences with their family, with their friends, feminine energies. So there's something being reflected back to this person because they have some sort of anxiety with matriarchal, but the matriarchal energies from the spiritual perspective is what you need to be working with if you are going to spiritually get into good health, because you can't just be masculine, higher self-conscious minded, spiritual from here, but your heart is shut down, because ultimately that means that your yin and yang is not in balance. You understand what I'm saying? For this individual, whether this is you or someone you know, there's the feminine energy from the spiritual perspective that needs to be looked at. Because within, their heart is still up under a cage. It's in a cage. Okay? And it has a lock on it. And as you can see, I believe, let me see here. Oh, the key way over there on the wall in the back. You know, the key way over there. You know, so, and the matriarchal from a spiritual perspective is the frequencies of the heart. Okay? So this person shows one thing. They may be very gifted and very talented. Actually, I don't see where spirit is taking away from any of all of that. It may just be that they're only viewing their spiritual essence from their ability to be spiritually gifted. So they're ignoring their emotional body. Clarify fear of change. There's some sort of burden here. Exhaustion behind closed doors. This person is heavily burdened. Let me show you. Exhaustion. Okay. Closure. Closed doors. So this person must have some sort of a public platform. There's a lot of burdens because they're afraid to change. Okay. So clarify the thinking man. Blessings in disguise. What feels like loss or failure is actually a blessing in the grander scheme of things. Though the meaning of this moment may still be unclear, its purpose will ultimately be revealed with time. Something is going to become clear to this individual, whoever reverberates with this message. Something spirit is going to make clear to them. Don't really know how. Okay? But they could be experiencing some sort of conflicts, a major shift in maybe their influence, gaining influence in reverse, in the upright, you know, and then major shift here. So if this person has a platform or, okay, what spirit is saying is that this may be a social media content creator of the spiritual perspective, you know, persuasion. All right. So this individual may be energetically displaying shifts in their energy that take place when their platform goes up and down, or the up and down of, because anybody that's a content creator, you understand, at least of YouTube, you should by now understand that the views and the numbers and the analytics and the things, it go up and down. You know what I'm saying? It really does, because you're dealing with are you creating something that people want to see? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's really that simple. But there are a lot of ups and downs as you are growing, or you know, planning things, expanding your points of view. This going back to this person having a vision, but yet there may be some shifts that are taking place in their sphere of influence. Okay. So in their sphere of influence, they may be experiencing ups and downs. Okay. This is causing conflict, or this is angering them, or this is making them heavy with tension. So I don't know who this is, but this is someone who may, when they're not really happy with where their content is or where their numbers are, then they may be online, but they're a little bit more edgy. They're a little bit more bitter. They're a little bit more jaded. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like spirit is saying. Okay. But what I'm seeing here is that blessing in disguise. There is something that this person is about to experience that is going to help clear all of this up. I feel like it's going to be put in front of them in a way And I don't see any real maliciousness here. So, I hope it's gentle enough, but it's going to be in a way that this individual is going to understand that they have to get their heart involved. They have to clean up their sanctuary. It can't just be about how gifted and intuitive and talented you are. Because everybody has intuition, operating and accessing it at various different levels. You understand? So in being highly intuitive doesn't really make you that much different. But being anointed, being endowed with access, spiritual realms, because you have done the work in your sanctuary, okay? To enter in behind the veil, the veil of the heart. That's what's a bit different. That's what sets you different. That's what gives you a different aura. This individual is not looking at something going on within them, but getting upset. And it's like a vicious cycle with this individual. Things are smooth sailing. Things are good. Maybe the platform is doing well. Maybe they're being seen as a certain way in their community. I don't know. But then all of this energy, the reverse, major shift, okay? And then they pissed. And it's like a vicious cycle. When they're doing good, they're happy. When their platform is doing well, when they're making the money, when they're doing whatever, when people are, kissing ass or, putting them on pedestals or whatever the case may be, they're fine. But then when they start feeling like, oh, people not giving them enough attention, or they're not being seen enough, or they're not being viewed enough, then they're still showing up, but they're showing up like pissed. Being edgy and sharp and rude. You know what I mean? Yeah. Clarify disguise, blessing in disguise, spirit. What is this second chakra? Generational healing, celebration, community. Celebration, generational healing, community. Wow. What's going to take place is they're going to have an actual major breakthrough. And I love that this is ended this way. I freaking love that this shit is ending this way, because this could end so many ways. You know what I mean? But I feel like this person is going to go through a bit of an ego surrender. Okay, they are going to eventually be put in a situation, or spirit is asking you to do the work in your heart space. Because it's something about your heart code that is supposed to be implemented and integrated into what you are creating from your sacral chakra. And when that integration between the heart chakra and the sacral chakra, and you already got the crown chakra, that third eye open, when that integration happens, there's going to be a lot of celebration for this person, because not just because of what they're creating in the earth, but it has a lot to do with generational healing. There's something about something that they are actually here to do, but they can't do it without the heart space being actually accessible. Okay? Actually accessible. Not everyone will understand your calling, but your people will. Seek those who speak your soul's language and create a circle where you are valued and supported. It feels also like Spirit wants to help this person be content, ambitiously so, but content with the success that they have at any given moment, and not allow the anguish of wanting it to be something else or trying to control the outcome. Celebration is in order for all that you've endured and all that you've become. Let joy rise in your heart. You deserve to be happy. You are breaking cycles passed down through generations, freeing yourself and your lineage from ancient wounds. This is a sacred work, and your courage to heal will echo far beyond your lifetime. Wow. And this is why it's important for this individual, someone in the collective, someone you're connected to actually gain this. Or this could be another spiritualist that you may be a part of their platform. I don't know. You know what I mean? Or this could be, you are a spiritualist. You may be a reader. You may be, someone who operates on social media in a spiritual perspective. But it's like you're at the phase where the heart and things you have placed under lock and key, has to be broken open for the next phase of your purpose and path in this world. Okay? Your intuition and your gifts have brought in a lot of fruit for you, a lot of abundance. But this, I don't know, this fruits of labor over here, and okay, so the fruits of labor come in with being intuitive, okay? But this heart space is bringing in a celebration of generational healing. That's two total different energies. That's different. The fruits of labor is just about you. But the generational healing is about you and everybody that came before you and everybody that comes after you. That is the community that you are actually in position and chosen to do the work, not what you do before the world. So seemingly appearing to be loving while knowing that your heart is really under lock and key, and you got some things going on in your heart space that you may be anxious about navigating. Yeah. It's like Spirit is saying this is the time for someone to face their fears here, to face their shadows. The Star, the Nine of Coins. Spirit, give the individual who reverberates with this message more confirmation on the outcome and what they can expect after integrating their heart space into their other. Your heart space is like your heart space has to open up before you can actually balance the other chakra systems, the root chakra, the solar plexus, the sacral, the throat, and even the crown and the third eye, right? The heart is what we're supposed to be led by. Your gifts and things come from your third eye, your intuition, your vision, your inner vision. Can you see in here? Right? But that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with where your heart is vibrating at. Okay, so the vision, the perception, the inner vision, the things that you actually can give your thoughts, mind, mental energy to bring forth, it begins to change and become more expansive as you heal the heart, because you start getting the body like in alignment, the feminine in alignment with the masculine, the dark in alignment with the light. You know what I'm saying? So there is a connection between the crown and the body, but they're not synonymous for the same thing. You have to do work both intellectually, consciously, and in your emotional body. If you miss either one of them, then you're going to be out of balance. It's that simple. And it feels like this is what Spirit is wanting someone to know, because that heart space is about to walk you right into everything that you may have anxiety about, or the ups and downs when things ain't going this person's way. When it comes to their work in the world, they are being taught a lesson. Okay. But it feels like not only are they being taught a lesson, but I feel like they actually are going to learn it. And when they learn it, they're going to clearly see, they're probably going to feel like I felt when I learned it, which is like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Could have been got this, you know what I mean? But still, here you are, you're journeying on a bridge. You got the intuition right in your hand, and you're about to just throw it over to the side, or you don't want to look at it, you don't want to see it. But you're trying to journey on this rickety ass bridge with all this luggage and stuff. You know what I mean? So there's a lesson here. The teacher is being taught, is what I just heard. The teacher is being taught. The teacher is first partaker of the lesson. So if you're an intuitive teacher, spiritual teacher, don't forget to be the student. Don't stop being the student. Okay? Or else your students will surpass you. And then you'll be disgruntled because you don't have the same influence you used to have. Well, that's what happened. The students you had, you got comfortable there. You started feeling yourself there. You didn't want to look at what Spirit was trying to tell you to look at. And so as you kept going along being your magnificent self with your intuitive self, and you can teach and you can tell and you can do all of this, you can foretell and you can foresee and you can do all of that. You forgot to foresee into your own heart space. So now the students have outgrown or will outgrow this teacher. And that will be maybe the turning point. So right now, someone could be going through the frustrations of watching something that they want to be a certain way, but they're watching it just maybe either creeping along or it's backing up. So it's like their view. Let's just take it in the sense of views, right? Since we're talking about social media or a social media platform and being a spiritual teacher, this person is like looking at their analytics. They're either seeing that it's moving along very slowly, or they're seeing that whereas they once was breaking out and getting a whole lot of support or whatever, people are no longer like really tapping in like that. And that it can be a humbling lesson. That could be a humbling lesson, because we have a lot put in front of us. Those of us who are spiritual and wanting to live liberated, we're content creators. The ups and downs of content creation will test whether you are really about this from your heart or whether you're just trying to get to some monetizations. Okay. So this particular individual, whomever you are, whoever this is, really needs to, be careful when it comes to like the energy of what could be showing up as greed, lusting or wanting something that is robbing them of being grateful for what they have right now. And that could be a lesson that is going to be imperative for this person to learn, because they're going to be given so much, or they're supposed to be given so much here in the future. Okay? So let's see. We have the teacher right here. The teacher is being taught. We have the King of Wands in reverse. They're learning, they could be learning or being taught to look at their energy, which could sometimes show up manipulative, maybe aggressive, toxic masculinity energy, unmothered. Wow. Okay. Yeah. The reverse sacred masculine. So this person is operating, though they are intuitive in some area of their life, they're operating in toxic masculinity, unmothered masculinity. And that makes sense because it's the feminine energy that they have anxiety about. Their feminine energy, and probably feminine energies around them, whether they are male or female. The King of Swords in reverse. The Lovers. It's a lesson that's like they're not willing to learn, or they're not seeing as it relates to the masculine and feminine energies and their need to balance them. The High Priestess in reverse. I believe this is is this the page? Yeah. Yeah. I think. The Page of Coins. But something that they're not seeing is they're not trusting something. They're not trusting something. The Four of Wands. There's a breakdown in communication intuitively as to what to do next or what step to take next. It may be that they're asking their spirit team for direction. the Most High for direction. They're asking, but when the thing that's being revealed to them, it's like they don't want to see that. They don't want to deal with that because it's a matter of the heart. This is somebody on social media with the star card coming out here. This is somebody who's seen in the public eye. I'm going to just pull that out because they keep stalking. So just sit you over there. You keep stalking me. I'm going to acknowledge you. Tell me about this star energy. This person is very confident, though. We have the Nine of Wands. Okay. So before the public, this person, I don't know. I'm getting wounded healer. I'm getting like they seem and appear very strong. Wow. Reverse strength. This is bringing back up that behind closed doors energy. The reverse strength. And the reverse Queen of Pentacles. Their feminine energy is like sitting in their root chakra, waiting for them to kind of snap out of it so she can wake up, so something can wake up, some aspect. Unwilling to change. Is them being unwilling to change is not allowing them to close out a cycle. They're going to see that clearly. Tell us more. The Page of Cups. Yeah. Spirit is definitely communicating, trying to communicate. They're receiving some sort of intuitive nudge. The Ace of Coins from the past. So they've heard. It's almost like this person knows full well. I don't know. It feels like they've been dealing with something for a minute now when it comes to like their emotional body. And Spirit has already been talking to them about it, but it still feels like they haven't quite applied themselves. And I don't know if it's because they got so comfortable with having a successful platform that they stopped doing the inner work when it comes to their own life. You know what I mean? Or they just wanted to appear to have all the answers. Seven of Swords in the reverse. Realizing that something is a mistake. Or the Action of Wands, the Knight of Wands, uninspired. Blockages. Oh, okay. So there feels to be to this individual, there feels to be a blockage, or there's going to be a blockage that is going to help them come into some sort of realization, like a self aha moment. Ten of Swords, something to an end, to end the self sabotage. Wow, I love that. I really do. To end the self sabotage, there's going to appear to be a blockage. Okay, so in this individual, if this reverberates with you, or if this is someone in your energy, this is someone who is kind of stuck and kind of hung up in a space, in a certain space. They're going through a transformation though, but it's going to be it's going to start with the appearance of a blockage, some sort of delay, a stagnation, something not being successful, a feeling of a lack of inspiration, right? So that's how there's going to, this change is going to come in. The Ace of Wands in reverse. Tell me more. It could be a lack of energy, a lack of inspiration towards the thing that they've been working towards. The Two of Swords in reverse. Or a blockage to their intuition. Whew, wait a minute. Oh, that's a lesson I wouldn't want. I don't want that one. I need her. I need my intuition all the time. I cannot live without it. The Two of Wands, because there's something about a forward movement or a forward path, but it's causing, or something is coming in that is going to cause some sort of anguish. Now, I'm gonna tell you the truth though. This is still a beautiful read, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because how I know I don't want my intuition to be blocked, this has to do with more of when you're a high priest or a high priestess, right? And you're highly intuitive and you have that awakened energy around you, like your spirit team, you can feel their presence, you can feel your ancestors, and then it kind of goes dead, like it kind of goes quiet to where it's like, why everybody so quiet? Nobody got nothing to say to me. That can prompt you into asking a certain question, like, am I not seeing something? I mean, because I hope somebody knows what I'm talking about. When you are in alignment, your spirit team feels active and activated. You feel active and activated. You can feel the kundalini in you activating. You got creative energy and you good and you vibing. But then there's moments where you can kind of feel a little bit like you're in a new moon phase. You know, you're in a shadow. It's cold. Is kind of like you just don't reverberate the same. And that can lead to an individual just simply asking their spirit team, is there something I'm not seeing? Because y'all are so quiet. And the only time y'all get quiet like this is when I have got out of balance. You know what I mean? And after me doing that enough times, I don't like to be out of balance. You know what I mean? Because I don't like that void. I don't like that staleness. I don't like when everything doesn't feel like, yeah, we're locked in. You know what I'm saying? Your protection is good. Everything's good. You're balanced. And so boom, let's go. Let's get it. When it's not like that energetically for me, between me and my spirit team, I know that either there's changes going on, but I at least know that I need to investigate the nature of what's going on, because that's not our normal frequency. You know what I'm saying? This person may come to a moment to where they feel intuitively shut down. Okay. And when they move into that, it is going to put them in this Nine of Swords. But this is the beginning of the breakthrough. This Nine of Swords is the beginning of the Ten of Swords. This self-sabotage, right, is now in the reverse because they're about to go through a period of some sort of spiritual anguish here, because maybe they're not getting clear downloads like they used to, or it's a little cluttery, or they just don't spiritually feel right. We have the Temperance card in reverse. We have liberation, and we have the Five of Coins. So if someone in the collective, if you're feeling a little bit sat out in the cold by your spirit team, right? Or if you run into this energy, it feels like it's all strategically bringing you to a point of healing, because what you think it is as it relates to your purpose and path is much more expansive than that. But your heart space would need to be actually open and activated for you to access the next phase of your destiny. You're way more than just a content creator. You're way more than just a high priestess that does readings on internets or whatever. You're way more than that. The work that you're doing is shifting your whole bloodline. So the heart got to be healed. It has to be. You know, it's not enough to appear to be balanced when you are on social media, but when you're not, then you are in anguish, or you're grumbling and complaining over how many views you didn't get, or you know what I'm saying? Like, and I've been there, so I know I'm speaking from experience. I've had my spirit team have to check me with this. This is why I can see it so clearly. And the flow state that you get into when you take that kind of pressure off of you, you don't have to prove to anybody that you are capable of teaching, or you're capable of intuiting, or you're a high priestess, or that you read cards. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to prove that to anybody in a way that causes you anguish when you feel like you are not being recognized as that. You understand what I'm saying? Because your purpose and destiny is way more than that. That's just the tip of the iceberg for someone here. So this feels like a lesson. It feels like a lesson. I'm familiar with this lesson. I am, which is why I never stop working on me. Never. And I'm familiar with this lesson from my Christianity days. The heart has to be in love. If you are a spiritual person and you are saying that you're going to offer your gifts, talents to help other people evolve spiritually, you must love what you do for the sake of loving it. You understand what I'm saying? Because love and the heart space is a part of the spiritual working. It is the throne of the temple. It is the holies of holies. You can't just be always like, oh, higher consciousness, higher consciousness. Well, what about your lower self? Because if you keep ignoring it, it's going to creep right up on your higher self ass, and it's going to snatch it right from up under you. It's going to snatch your destiny because you're not willing to look at your lower self because you think you're so high that you just not looking at your lower self. You're not looking at the ways that greed may be operating in you, or bitterness, or unlovingness. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not looking at the lack of gratitude, those lower frequencies, because you're just so heavenly minded. You're no earthly good, at least not to yourself. You know, this is what this feels like. There's a spiritualist, there's a spiritual person in general that is at a turning point. If they allow the lesson to be learned, 10 of Cups, and it's going to lead you to ultimate happiness, joy. Okay? Joy that is not predicated upon whether anybody, you know, when you're a business and an entrepreneur and a spiritual person, it is a tightrope you walk between your ambition, because you are ultimately creating infrastructure around something that is so close to your heart. And it's like you want it to succeed, and at the same time, it's like, but you don't want it to alter your energy to where it becomes more about that than it remains to be about what you love and who you are. So someone has to be mindful of their thoughts as it relates to their work as a spiritualist, because there's an imbalance. And the 10 of Coins. So this 10 of Coins to me, connected to that reverse justice, is telling me that somebody has an idea of the money that they make as a spiritualist. They're viewing that from an imbalanced perception. And your spirit team is about to intervene by making it appear that there are blockages. And they will do this every time your masculine energy runs away with you. It's for your protection, because you are truly tapped in. Okay? But it's for your protection, because there could still be some human fleshly things that you still need to alchemize, some urges, something you're going to see clearly, and the subconscious is going to be cleared up. It's going to be cleared up. Or it's being cleared up. Take how it reverberates. The Magician. You're going to be clear about your power. You're going to be clear about how to navigate your power. You're going to be clear about the mind and the heart. The mind and the heart is where the power is, the anointing, the endowment. It has to be a connection between the mind and the heart. If the heart is shut down, then the information coming to the mind from the heart is bitter, jaded, unloving, uncompassionate, unkind, greedy. So you know what I mean? And so then when things aren't going your way, you start to see your reality through that lens. And then there's the anxiety. There's the restlessness. Yeah. Releasing limiting beliefs about your future here. Nurturer of Cups. Queen of Cups. Yep. Your work, your actual work, is a matter of the heart, not the matter of the coinage, not the matter of like just the third eye. You know what I mean? Like, it's a beautiful thing to have your third eye opened, but not with your heart shut down. Let me say this, and I'm gonna get one or two affirmation cards, and then we're gonna call this reading done. All right. Each one of your chakras have their own eye. The third eye is just the eye of the crown, right? The heart chakra has its own eye. The solar has its own eye. The sacral, the root, they all have their own eye. And that is what I mean by, if your third eye is open, that's beautiful. But your other eyes need to be open too. And the third eye is supposed to be in service to helping you see. What eyes are closed? Someone is about to have like an inner, it's more than a download. It's more sentient than that. You're going to be shown that the eye of your heart is closed. And the eye of your heart and your heart space is where the future of what you are creating and the vision that you have for creating it, that is where the real mastery is at this juncture of someone's journey. Okay. Halfway to whole. You've touched the heavens, but that means nothing without proper integration. I mean, gratitude, spirit. Gratitude, okay? You've touched the heavens, but that means nothing without proper integration. Truth isn't spoken, it's lived. And an unembodied wisdom leads to illusion. You don't need another ceremony to ascend. You need stillness to descend into what's unresolved, unclaimed, and unhealed. Expansion is found in the reckoning. So there is something, I'm feeling the energies of a tower moment, okay? So someone may be about to experience a tower moment that's going to allow you intuitively to see that your heart space needs to wake up or needs to get out from behind those bars. All right. Expansion is found in the reckoning where the next initiation will be waiting. Okay. So someone is actually going through, someone who is already very intuitive, operating as a spiritualist, as an intuitive, is about to have a heart chakra awakening. Okay. I chuckle because I see some past initiations that I've gone through in this reading. You know what I mean? And so I can attest to, it gets so much better, especially when you are a spiritualist who operates as a spiritualist in the form of a business. When you get into the flow of just, you know what, I'm doing this because I love it and I'm going to stay right here. I don't care if I make $3,000 this month on these videos or if I make $17,000. It doesn't matter. It's going to be what it is. But that is really predetermined as to whether I can stay in my heart with it. If I get out and get into toxic masculinity and get to going through analytics and stuff, and I do that, but I used to be a little bit more like, well, like, it's frustrating. It can be frustrating. If you're not a content creator, you may not understand it, but if you're a content creator, you understand. It can be frustrating. But when you're a spiritualist and a content creator, it's like, the beautiful thing about being a content creator is spirit is also able to use that to be a catalyst for your healing. Right? So when the views are down or when they're wavering or when they're not doing what you want them to do, it can still be a road sign to like, okay, let me check my energy. Because I said I did this because I love it. And I was cool until these views get to dropping and then I get anxious. Why? And that's the reality that I've had to be initiated through a couple times. You know, I've settled into a nice flow, and the most I have to do is now I know how to observe myself, so my spirit team don't have to come in with these tower moments. I know how to observe myself and say, you know what? Get back in the flow, get back in the love, get back in there. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. Do you know what I mean? Just keep perfecting your craft, keep loving what you're doing, keep pursuing it from the passion of it, and the table's gonna have to turn, okay? It'll have to, because it's energy, you know? So even your social media platforms, for those of you who are spiritualists and content creators, and this message may reverberate with you, even your spiritual platforms and your social media and your content creation and your business that you're running from, you know, as a high priestess, even that can be used as a reflection to show you that you're imbalanced in a certain space and you need to tweak it. You need to twerk. You need to come back over here. You need to do something, okay? Because you're slipping into an imbalance, or you're needing to acknowledge an imbalance. Give us more. Distraction detox. Not all noise is loud. Some of it hums quietly in your feed, your fridge, or your friendships. Begin to notice what you're consuming. The scrolling, the snacking, the small talk. Your mind, body, and spirit are shaped by what surrounds you. This is your invitation to pause and purge. Step back from the media, mute the chaos, clear the clutter, recalibrate your senses, and reclaim your roots. I say roots. It says reclaim your focus, okay? Reclaim your roots. Take how it reverberates. Make space for what truly nourishes your becoming. So someone who operates in the spiritual sector, industry, you may be about to kind of go through an energetic pause, but it is so that you can clear up some energy, okay? And what you're about to take a leap forward into is requiring this clearing, this pause, okay? Reflections of truth, karmic relief. I feel like there's something being reflected to you. There's a truth that is being reflected to you, to remove some sort of karmic chain here, both for you and your family, your bloodline, your ancestors, your generations to come. And there's the joy that I was talking about. Has your eagerness been hidden, as if enthusiasm is naive or uncool? Life isn't meant to be politely endured. Joy is not a weakness, and excitement is not a flaw. You don't have to wait for permission to lighten up. Let yourself laugh too loudly. Celebrate what others overlook. There is beauty and wonder tucked into every day if you choose to see it. Allow joy to rise without apology and enjoy life's simple pleasures. And this is the energy that you're ultimately going to get in and remain in. And as a person who has gotten there and has had to go through all of these little bitty lessons, because now my joy is really not, it's not contingent on anything physical. My joy is my own, and everything physical that goes my way is an addition to that joy. You understand? And sometimes the things that are added seem negative in appearance when they show up. But I've been through this enough to know, look at it again. Find the lesson. Because if you find a lesson, it'll lead you to more joy. So even your heartbreak and your trauma and the things that you try to cage yourself away from become a source of you being able to celebrate how strong, victorious, courageous, brave, and loving you are. Okay? All right, collective, this has been the message. I hope this reverberated with somebody. Let me know in the comments, confirmation and clarity for whoever you are that resonated with this message, okay? Thank you so much to my Starseed family, Soul Tribe, gang, gang. I love you guys always. I appreciate your support, your super thanks, all of that beautiful energy, and I send it back to you. May your life be beautiful in all the ways that matter to you. All right? If you are a new viewer, welcome in. I'm glad you stopped by. Yes, I hope you'll stay. I would love for you to stay. You know what I'm saying? Don't just come over here, get a plate and run. You know what I mean? Don't come get a plate and run like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Stay. Turn on that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? And then turn on them notifications. So you'll know when your girl is back with another and you can come eat again. You know what I mean? You can come chill again, kick back again. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not your read. Maybe you're not that hungry. Maybe you don't feel like you should be eating off that one. That's okay. You can still be here. You can still be here. You know what I'm saying? I love you guys. All right. And if anybody's in need of a personal reading, my books are always open. The link is in the description. It'll take you to my website. When you get to the website, scroll down. You will see 2 steps that you will need to take in order to ensure that your reading is returned back to you in a timely fashion, usually 1 to 3 business days. I do not work on the weekend, so be mindful of that when you're choosing what day to book. Okay, but even if you book on the weekend, just know that your reading will come the first 2 days of the following week. All right. All right, y'all. Like, share, hype it up if you have one to spare, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.